Hi guys, just a very quick video here to show you the mid-motor setup that I've just done on the Basher BZ-222. I'm using the velineon motor and it's a bit of a squeeze, to be fair. It's too big a motor really for this setup, and you know, as a result it's not ideal, I guess, but I've shoehorned it in there anyway, so here we are. A couple of things to note just quickly. It were the way the setup works. You do have to cut out the rear wing to allow the shocks to poke through it, because the shock tower is basically spun round from shocks on the front of it. It's spun around and they're on the back now, so you have to do that. As you can see possibly there, they kind of poke up. No, you can't see, but they poke up through the wing. Also, I've had to cut out a fair bit of the body just here at this front edge, sorry, this rear edge, just at the front of the motor there, and also at the back on the other side to fit around the spur gear and the spur gear protector. I also moved one of the ball cups for the camber links from forward to just back to the rearmost setting, because basically that camber link there was hitting the spur gear cover, so I moved that backwards. So you can see there it's all quite a tight fit. My 2S LiPo, which is a Nanotech, Tonergy Nanotech 5800 mAh, does just fit perfectly between the front there where there's a bumper and the motor. My velineon ESC is just a double-sided tape to the top of the battery tray, and that's my 2.4 GHz receiver, which is just Velcro down, plastic dip over it just to waterproof it, and the same with the servo, because I wanted to run it to test it out, and the weather's been so bad. A nice feature which I hadn't noticed before until I started messing around with the setup is that in the little box of bags you get, or little baggie of bits, sorry, that you get a couple of plastic bits here which enable you to basically have droop screws at the back. So there's a little screw in there on either side, and you can set the amount of droop you want with the shocks. So basically that is set to limit the droop there, and that's quite a nice little feature. So basically in the manual you get a picture, or a couple of pictures, of the motor backward gearbox assembly, and you get a picture of the motor forward gearbox assembly. There isn't actually a walkthrough of any sort to tell you exactly what to do. In the picture it actually shows that the motor mount here, when you're on motor forward, is over here, is over this side, but that suggests switching this whole internal, or the two halves of the gearbox around and spinning it around like that. Now I didn't do that, I thought that was a bit long-winded, so I just literally took the mount and motor off the back, spun it around and put it in the front. Shock tower gets spun around, the body posts get moved from this side to this side, the shocks get moved around. The rear arms actually get spun around as well, so in essence you end up turning them upside down, I believe it is, and you end up moving the shocks to the other side of them. You have to spin around the hubs, so they would have been in essence pointing downwards now, so you have to take them out and point them upwards. So there's a few, it is a bit of a kind of, not a long-winded process, but a process that maybe was a little bit longer than I thought it would be. But anyway, at the end of the day, there's also this body post here is on a different mount at the front, which is one of the pieces that you get in the kit, the extra pieces to do the mid-motor conversion. So yeah, it was a little bit of a faff, it was a little bit long-winded, but I kind of like the way it feels now. It feels a lot less rear heavy, a bit more neutral with the battery in it and everything in it, and I'm quite interested to run it and see how it runs like this. Obviously the shocks now are behind the drive shafts and so on, so they're maybe a bit more in kind of the line of fire for damage. You haven't got the motor sitting back here to protect the arms and so on. If you land rear heavy, you're kind of landing direct on the wheels, you're not touching the motor, so maybe that's going to cause a bit more stress to those rear arms. But yeah, it's an interesting setup. I'm hoping it's going to be good. I'm really pleased with the car so far, as I've already said. And yeah, that's about it. So I will be running it when I get the chance on the Astro track. Either way, everyone, it's Christmas, leading up to Christmas, so happy Christmas to everyone, and I'll catch up with you in 2015. Oh my god, 2015 already. Alright, so take it easy guys, happy Christmas and happy New Year.